Today I'm going to be showing you how to set up a web server with a ReactJS front end and a WordPress backend super easily and quickly. The benefits of this setup are innumerable and they're described in the README of the GitHub as well as the video description, so make sure to check that out. And without further ado, let's get started. Step one is you're going to need a domain name. So I purchased one at Namecheap called indievibe.com, and the link to Namecheap is in the video description as well as the GitHub README, of course. So next step after that is to create a VPS. This is where your code will actually be hosted. So pick a region that's closest to where your users will be. It's a very trivial difference between these locations, but still I always pick one that's closest to like where roughly all my users will be. So it's New York for today, and then almost always pick the latest stable version of Ubuntu. So in this case 22.04 LTS, and then we can pick the regular with SSD CPU, and the 1 gig CPU option will suffice for most projects. Next, we're going to be typing our password, and then we are going to be naming our host name. So in this case, IndieVibe. And then we can create droplet. And here it will create the droplet for us. It'll give us an IP address. As soon as it's created, we can SSH into that and start the bulk of the process. VPS is created. Here's our IP address. Going to copy that, going to our terminal, and now we're going to SSH as root into that IP address. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time after it's been created. As you can see there, connection refused. Wait a little bit longer. There we go. And now we are in. So our next step is to create a non-root user. So we will add user, and we'll type in our new password, retype it. Yes, that information is correct. We will add this user to the sudoers file, which grants them root privileges. So vsudo, and we'll add the entry directly under root here. So alien all is equal to all. We're going to write and save, and then we are going to exit and then re-enter with our non-root user. Okay, we are going to change the password because I must have. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I was using the wrong user. Okay, now we are in. So what we're going to do is clone this script from the Gray Alien Ventures GitHub called server setup. And I'll maximize this screen or expand it. And you can find this stuff here. We are going to clone. So git clone repo. And then you'll see that our repo has been cloned. So we'll enter that, and then we'll run our script install.sh. I'll show you all the files first. README images that are fed into the README, the includes, which are some templates and some files that install.sh, which is the driver script, will actually end up using. So let's run install. And now the fun part. So get username, let's say INTP LLC, get user email info@intp.io, let's say, indvibe.com. And now we will have our NS records in Namecheap point to this VPS. So what we're going to do is go to Namecheap Advanced DNS, and we're going to add two A records, one with the @host, one with the www, with automatic time to live for both of them. Perfect. Cool. So that is all good. We did what the script told us. Log into the domain name registrar and go to advanced DNS. We created those A records, so we will press enter to continue. Our database username, alien, database name, indvibe. It's a good idea to append some nonsense characters at the end just to obfuscate the name and make penetration into your database a little tougher. Good thing to do with your table names as well. So we'll put in our password. Wait, I mistyped that. Okay, so our site title is indvibe. Our admin email, our admin password for WordPress, and now if you look at install.sh source code, we start out by increasing the swap memory, then or the swap space or whatever. Now we're upgrading the system, then we're going to update the system. And a theme of today is we're going to be waiting while the server does its thing. So you'll see it upgraded the system. Now it's installing Apache, which is the PHP server that WordPress will run on. Installing PHP, which is the language of WordPress, of course. Now it's installing MySQL, which is the database, of course. Let us check crypto prices while we're waiting. So price of Bitcoin probably will not hit $1 million by the end of the year. Way too low. Configuring WordPress. Installing NGINX, which is the reverse proxy. This is what determines where to send requests. So how does the system figure out if it's the Apache server or the NodeJS server that handles traffic or handles a request? The NGINX rule set will, like the config file, will determine this. So now we're installing NodeJS and NPM. And we wait again. While we're waiting, I'll show you the source code for this. You can kind of follow along with what the system is doing right now. So you'll see that start out by configuring Git, configure the NS records, configure the database. This little initialization section. And then configure the database, configure WordPress, done all this. Increase the system memory. So right now we're installing Node.js and NPM. We're at this section right here. What that'll allow us to do is get ready for this next section where we clone another repo on the Gray Alien Ventures GitHub. Yeah, you see right here. And that repo acts as a ReactJS app scaffold. So that means that basically you'll be able to start out with a functioning ReactJS app, blank, somewhat blank, but ready to get developed ASAP. So we're doing all of this right now. Next will be the NGINX section, as I'm sure you can read right there. If you want to see what it's cloning, which repo is cloning for this, you can check it out in Great Alien Ventures. And then prototype node. This is the ReactJS scaffold that it is using. Yeah, basically just a somewhat empty React directory, but it's set up in a very convenient and ergonomic way to start developing right away. So it's set up with TypeScript automatically. Yeah, Webpack, some basic things here, like your Redux is set up here, some basic screens, which you'll see after the script is done running. I'll demonstrate what all it comes with. And now we wait again. And we can check out some crazy art that my friend Brian Xati creates. Phenomenal artist, really creative, and very weird stuff. This is a cool one. I didn't notice this before, but it has Van Gogh's Starry Night right there. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. And we keep waiting. This is the theme I told you earlier, so I was not lying on that. Or not capping, as the kids these days say. Yeah, so the reason why this is taking so long is this command right here, which we have muted the output of for your convenience, because otherwise it would just be a wall of never-ending text. It's installing all the dependencies from package.json in the React scaffold. So this is what we're waiting on right now. Dang, sushi is going up quite a bit right now, up 7%. Not bad. All right, there we go. So they configured NGINX, and now it's installing CertBot. And CertBot is it's an SSL program or software that service that allows us to set up an SSL certificate super quickly and super easily and programmatically, like what we're doing here. I'm building React app, and with that, our script has finished running. So let's go into the parts that's set up for us. So if we go to ndvibe.com, you'll see it's still building. So we'll go to the backend, admin slash. If you go into the backend, you have a generic admin page. This is like a WordPress site. Really don't need to do anything with that here. The important part is the WP admin section where you can log in with your credentials from earlier. So info@intp.io, log in with your password. If you go into plugins, you'll see the WP Core plugin has been installed, and this can be found on the Great Alien Ventures GitHub. WP Core plugin setup. This is what deals with it. And what this does is it creates some API endpoints and allows you to get up and running really quickly with all that stuff. So that is a good sign. Let's refresh here. takes some time for the project to build, so let's give it 30 seconds to a minute, and we'll do some more waiting in the meantime. Let's check the price of Tether. I'm just kidding. I'm seeing if you're still paying attention. Let's check the price of Bitcoin Cash. It's 108. Last time I sold Bitcoin Cash, I sold at over $300, so got out of that in time. There you go. So now the ReactJS front end has been built. This is a template that we provide that you can start working with. Also has basic functionality like login. If you log in with the credentials that you input into the script earlier, yep, so now you can see you're logged in, you can log out, you have basic profile stuff, you can change your first name, last name, update profile pic, and you can log out. So in the next portions, if people are interested enough, I will go over how to build a basic app from here, how to set up some API endpoints, how to, I guess, create some basic pages for the front end, how to create data stores, which in turn end up creating database tables, and so forth. So that has been it. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that you enjoy our software. Cool.